board. I want to acknowledge my friends and family here at WCL. I want to thank Dean Grossman for continuously supporting me throughout my professional career. From the time I started as a 1L here, back in, I won't say the year. I want to thank the faculty. I want to thank the administration. I want to thank the staff. I also want to thank the students. Some of you are my former students, some are current students, and it is remarkable to see how you all have grown and developed through the years. I want to thank WCL for having this conference consistently. The Slovenia Woods Conference, it is such an important time for us to get together as African Americans and discuss important issues that affect the way that we practice law. It's a way for us to come together and fellowship, and it's also a way for us to celebrate. And when I say celebrate, I mean we celebrate important legacies, starting with the Honorable Sylvania Woods. And there are other members who I consider pioneers who have helped create and pave the way for young lawyers such as myself and many of you here in the room, such as Judge Lee and Judge Walton, and many of the faculty members here who have done remarkable things throughout their career. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention Mr. Joseph Hairston himself, a remarkable individual, a fine lawyer who's made significant contributions to the legal profession, certainly through his work with the National Bar Association, the Washington Bar Association, and for those of you who haven't met him or haven't had the opportunity to talk to him, I would encourage you to do so. He is just such a wealth of knowledge, and I'm not even going to limit that to just the law. That man knows a lot about everything. So I want to certainly thank Mr. Hairston. And the common thread between all the individuals that I've named is that all of the individuals, they found a way to give back to the law school, to give back to individuals like myself and to many of you here in the room. I'm going to now talk a little bit about my time here at WCL. When people ask me about my law school experience, I always tell them that I had the most amazing 3 years of my life. And I always get the side-eye look from some people, you know that smirk. But honestly, my time at WCL, I can't speak highly enough about it, and it's for a number of reasons. Here, I've met and made some wonderful friends. I've created lifelong friendships with some really near and dear friends, classmates who are sitting here. And as I look around the room, so many of you really have inspired me and touched me in a way that you can't even imagine. In addition to that, I had the opportunity to have faculty members for the first time that actually really cared. They cared, not just about us professionally, but they cared about us personally. And on a number of occasions, faculty members, they were there to boost us up, morally, spiritually, academically, mentally. People like Sherry Weaver, you were always there for us. You were always there, a shoulder to cry on whenever we needed to. There were many times when, we kind of stumbled and fell and thought, we can't do this, we can't get back up. But you all were really there, Professor Davis especially, to kind of drag us up and say, come on, you got this. So for that, I am terribly, terribly grateful. So this has been a constant support system that I've had here. And I don't use the word family lightly when I talk about my WCL family. That sense of family that we've built and created, many of you here feel the same thing. At WCL, I was able to get a strong foundation and the confidence that I needed to go out and pursue a legal career. When I started, practicing, I did not know, certainly at the time when I was in law school, that I would go on to be an ethics attorney. And as a matter of fact, and this is kind of ironic, legal ethics is the one course in law school that I have no recollection of. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I know I got an A, but legal ethics is the only course that I don't even remember the professor or his face. I was telling Professor Bozier at the back, I was like, I don't remember who our professor was. But, at the time, I didn't know that that's what I would do. I kind of had to find my way a little bit. I started off at a small firm in Maryland doing high volume civil litigation, and I did that for several years, and I felt that although I was able to hone, my legal skills, I felt unfulfilled, and I felt like I wasn't really contributing in a way that would make a difference in not just the profession, but in the world. So came back to WCL to talk to my friends and family here to figure out what my next steps would be. And I don't know if any of you have heard the expression, sometimes the job picks you and you don't pick the job. That was me. So I, sent my resume out to a lot of different places. I got an interview at Bar Counsel's office in Maryland, sat down for the interview, we chatted, he hired me right on the spot. I don't know why, because I didn't know I didn't know the rules of professional conduct off the top of my head like I thought I should have. But that was the beginning. That was really the beginning of what I think is now a wonderful career for myself. So from there, I moved on to the District of Columbia Office of Bar Counsel, and I have to say that I absolutely love what I do. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And that may scare lawyers to hear that the lawyer that prosecutes lawyers loves what she does, but it's not for the reasons that you think. I really love what I do because of the educational aspect. I love the fact that I'm able to teach and help attorneys understand what their obligations are under the rules of professional conduct. I think that is probably the most meaningful way that I can contribute to the profession. I love the fact that I get to mentor. I love the fact that I get to teach law students. That has been an absolute joy. I've been doing that for about 5 years now, and I have to say, times have changed. Law school is not like what it used to be when we were here. But I love it. I really enjoy that. And I feel like doing what I do in terms of the educational outreach, mentoring and teaching, I feel like I'm assisting and maintaining the integrity of our profession. I'm one of those, people that believes that this is really an honorable profession, and I'm just so privileged to be a lawyer. Being a lawyer is probably one of my greatest accomplishments. And being a lawyer means more to me than just doing what I get paid to do from 9 to 5. It means committing myself to the values that I swore to uphold when I took the oath to become an officer of the court. And with that, I would encourage all of you to rededicate yourselves to those values and principles that we hold near and dear to our hearts when we think about the legal profession. And I have a special message for the students, especially the graduating students, the 3Ls. I'd ask that, and you've probably heard this 1,000,001 times, these are tough, trying economic times, as you all know. But as you go out into the world, I'd ask that you keep an open mind. Sometimes you don't start off where you want to be, and that's okay. And sometimes you may have to do a couple of less undesirable jobs and do things you may not like, but I think it's important that when you do that, so long as you walk away with some sort of skill set, you become highly proficient, it's easier to move on to the next. So that's just my way of trying to encourage you that even though you're not, that you may not start off where you want to be, through time and effort, you can certainly get there. I know many of you came to law school because you had the idealistic notion that you wanted to make a change, you wanted to make a difference. And some of you may even have gotten sidetracked through your time here. You may have gotten sidetracked through different ways that you might measure your level of success, such as how much money can you make as a first-year associate, or what type of notoriety you can get by working in a certain office. And I would just remind you that if you came to law school to make a difference, do it. Go out there and you make a difference. And it may require you to be creative about the ways that you can find within yourself to give back. It may be difficult to do it within, your paid work. So, you may have to look at other ways to do that. And I'll tell you why. I'll share a quick story. A couple months ago, I had the occasion to mentor or, talk to a group of children. They were young, just about between 8 and 12. And I, was talking to the students, and one of the young boys said to me, "Are you Michelle Obama?" And, I thought he was kidding. I was like, "Michelle Obama?" So I chuckled. I was like, "No." And he gave me the side eye. Like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Well, kind of bangs, kind of, but not. So I said, No. I'm Dolores Dorsainvil. This is who I am. And then another one of the young boys said to him, "See, I told you, she's not a lawyer." And that statement, it struck me. It really struck me because in my mind, I thought the only way that they knew that there could be an African-American woman lawyer is by what they've seen on TV, which is, Michelle Obama. So they couldn't even imagine or dare to dream that someone who looks like me or you or any one of you could actually be a lawyer. And this is, and it was, it's ironic because this is right on the other side of town. And here we are living in the nation's capital where there's so much change occurring. And we have little boys and little girls who look just like us who have no idea that we exist. Okay? So I share that story so that you all really think about ways, especially for the graduating students, that you can think about ways that you can create a presence and really make yourself known. Because I think it's important that, that you go out there and you do meaningful work, of course, but you also want to be a positive role model for those people and the little ones that are coming up behind you. And I'll just end with, it's most important probably to inspire them to dare to dream. So from the bottom of my heart, I truly, truly thank you all, my WCL friends and family, for honoring me with this